All right, boys and girls, let me greet you with the hashtag joyant, the hashtag jubilant hello to all of my good friends out there in the trading universe. It is Doug with Trade with Doug, and today's video I want to focus on three cheap stocks. Maybe I shouldn't use the word cheap, let's say inexpensive, low price stocks that really look attractive here that I think are going to be great buys for at least cash flow. I can't guarantee we're going to get another CFVI here, but got some nice stuff I'd like to share with you. And all of this is about the new thing I've been offering here. You know, I've been talking about it for the last few days, is the all new penny pound, where I'm sharing my small cap trades, both day trades and swing trades. And also I'm proud to announce that Sylvia Bellrock is going to be joining and sharing her ideas as well for those swing trades. Obviously, most of you that have followed me for a while know that my primary source of revenue and business from the stock market is in bigger caps, but I've always traded some small caps on the side. But some of these have turned out to be some dynamite plays, and sort of as my gift to the trading community, I'm doing it for free. It costs absolutely nothing. So down in the description box, there'll be a link that will take you to that room. First day, unofficially the first day, already had a really great short here intraday on this SOPA. But it's not just a great entry. It's not just a great idea. The purpose of this is to create actionable trades, because everything in hindsight is perfect, right? The room is all about getting actionable trades in the hands of people at the right time, at the right price, so everybody can enjoy and collect on the profits. No chasing, none of that garbage. So pretty good one. And maybe here, if it bounces a little bit later, we can sneak one more in for the close. This one was just a day trade, so I'm out. So let's talk about these today. There's a couple of swing trades that are on my mind, and I'm going to give you some entries for those and how I want to play them, because none of them are ready right now at this very second, but they could be soon. This SBEV, I think I've mentioned a few times in some of my market mutterings over the weekend. This was one of the stocks that started out as a short trade, very much like a SOPA, for example. So many of these start out as shorts, and then you get the initial dump, and then it gets bought right back up. You short it and it gets immediately bought back up. And then after a couple of times you realize this one is not going to be the typical penny stock or typical micro cap that just craters and goes all the way back down to where it starts. Some do have some staying power. And some of these we have talked about here, like a BCRX, for example. Anyway, SBEV is something I've spoke about here a little bit. Unfortunately, I think I did miss the sweet spot here. So I'm going to recommend first, I think we see higher. I think we see this thing try to squeeze its way to $6 to $8 and maybe even 10. But I don't like where it is right now. I think this is a chase, and for sure I do not want to chase these. The real entry would have been right here, just a shade above 4. Taking out yesterday's high into this zone would have been a good area to get long. You can see all of the support that lies around 440 for the last few days. That would have been a better area to be in. It's kind of stretched a little away from that. So here's what I would like to see. I would like to see another test or another pullback that moves us into 460. We don't have to make it down to 440 this time, but if we can get into 460 and hold that zone and then start to trend up, I would feel pretty comfortable with that entry. The other thing that is a little disappointing for me is I'm traditionally not a fan of double tops either, because normally double tops fail. So I'm kind of expecting, just out of traditional technical analysis, that the double top fails. We can get a pullback to 460 for another entry. Now, if that doesn't happen and we go over 5 and I cannot get in it, I would recommend as well, guys, do not chase this thing. It's not worth chasing. It's not that kind of a stock. You see what happened last time. It can get parabolic, and it does pull back. You know, went to 486 and then dumps all the way down to 3s. So if you get a poor entry, you may accidentally be shaken out of this trade. So I would like to build a position in this, so hopefully we get a pullback. If it gaps above 5, then I will have to wait until it can pull back a little bit and settle in, and maybe that's going to be a couple of days, then an entry. Nonetheless, I'm looking at somewhere between, I'd say 7 and 8 up into this zone. Back here where it was last year, I would seek that we kind of grind up there. This one looks pretty good. Again, it's been on my watch list for a long time. I actually shorted it a couple of times, and I made a few bucks on it, you know, 20 cents, 50 cents here and there. But now it's just kind of sort of coming back up. So I think this one has other intentions right now. It's showing some certain staying power, so keep this one out. Now, another one that's doing the same is Dave. I know I did bring this one up in a couple of market mutterings. This one here has a very, let's use the word janky, a very janky trading pattern. Maybe you see the same here, but of course, I feel that between this and SBEV, SBEV is the better structured chart. This one's a little bit messy here. You can see you had this ridiculous explosion from 4 to 15, but now that it's pulled back and you have a few days of basing, let me open this up because this intraday chart's irrelevant here. Not a bad look. I mean, you got some decent holding here in the 1050 area. So there is a floor into this thing. And maybe what you see here is the exact thing that you saw here, which is a ramp up followed by a few days of base consolidation. Then once you get out of that box, you explode. So maybe if we do that, which is going to be about 1250, let's just put 1250 up here. If we break through 1250, there could be a quick trip back to 15. That would be all my trade. I'm not going to sit here and think this thing's going to run to 25 or 35 or something like that. It is just a trade. But based on the way this chart looks to where it was just dead, it all of a sudden goes through this ridiculous craziness here. This is just a trade, man, and I wouldn't want to hold this for any but longer than a couple days, maybe 1 or 2 days, and then revisit possibly the short angle on this one. Just want to share it with you. It needs some work. Above 1250, it has my interest. Stop at 11. Target would be 15. This would also be a stock that would have to go right to 15. Any stalling along the way, I would just be too nervous to hold this one, but that's just my personal opinion. I could be wrong, right? So we've got that one, and the last one out of these three, I do own some hope. This is something that Sylvia Bellrock and I spoke about with CFVI in the technical talk, which will be today, a little bit later here on YouTube, a live stream. So make sure you check that out. I'll put the links down in the description box. But as well as this one, this looks good. I wouldn't really call this one a penny stock, right? Or one of the micro, maybe it's, I don't know. I wouldn't necessarily classify it in those groups to where it's just a pile of trash. Nice parabolic that went to 1768. You have your typical pullback, nice basing over the last few days, and today finally breaking through that. So there should be a move at least back to the 1768, and who knows, maybe we can clip off that round number of 20. Stop is at 1650. This one I do own right here on the break. It may be a little bit of a chase here intraday, so if you're watching this before the market hours close, let's see what we got here. You may want to see if this can pull back here a little bit into this area. I think around the 17s is a decent price to own that, with a stop at roughly 16 and targeting 20 plus. I think once it gets going, get a little bit more volume here and just kind of swing right on up there. Very much like this, where you get that nice linear aggressive expansion move. This thing has done this before. Expansion move back here coming out of a base. So it's been a while. Now's a good time. So that's what I have today for you guys. SBEV, Dave, and Hope. The only one I'm actually in is Hope right now. I have some hope that Hope will work. You know, I had to use it, right? And the rest you got the details on. Be patient, wait for your entries. If they work, they work. Get in it, use your stop, and what will be, will be. So I'm going to end it right there, guys. Don't forget today, technical talk in a couple of hours after the market closes, live on YouTube with Sylvia Bellrock. Feel free to visit her channel at Sylvia Bellrock. Also, don't forget about the penny pound. We're doing both swings and day trades on these. Had a great start. So love to connect with you guys and help you make some money. Again, it's totally free. It's my gift to the community. And I hope it helps you. Hope you learned something, and hope we all can grow together. Other than that, man, take care, and I will talk to you here real soon. Cheers.